Welcome to another episode of The Arts Are the Answer, a co-production of the Arts Council for Monterey County and Access Monterey Peninsula. I'm Steve Elzy, Executive Producer for AMP.
And I'm Paulette Lynch, Executive Director of the Arts Council for Monterey County. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll be talking with local on-air talent Rama Pijama about his multi-platform Almost Live Monterey show and profiling Aztec dancing with Bernice House.
And you don't want to miss Monterey County Weekly journalist Walter Rice interviewing local photographer extraordinaire Kim Weston. Plus, we'll show you how Youth Music Monterey County teaches young musicians about life through their amazing music programs.
And it starts right now. I am here today with Paige Robertson, one of my favorite people in all of Monterey County. I met him in 1985 when he was a broadcaster, programmer with KAZU, and I've since known him as a performer, a sculptor, a ceramicist. But today we're going to talk about his role as a facilitator of other people's creativity. Paige, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me here, Paulette. And you know, I think we should open up by saying I'm also Rama Pijama, which is
There's so many things you've done for our community, and so many things you're doing right now in broadcast media through the arts. Let's just start with All Things Creative. What's that all about, and how did you get started?
Well, All Things Creative is what my business card reads, and I figured it was a nice umbrella for what really, you know, excites me in life, and that is creativity, whether it's painting or broadcasting or performing music or any other thing that's obvious like that. And when it's not obvious, I look for the creative process as part of what I'm doing. My show, All Things Creative, I started, gosh, I don't know how many years ago, and it was with my passion for video. I started shooting video in the mid-'80s, and I did a number of interviews of artists in the community, Bruce Aris and Gordon Newell and Sam Colburn and Edna Bullock and many others. I did a whole series. That was before Access Monterey Peninsula came here. And back in the 80s, we didn't have the facility to edit things that came along just a few years ago when you know, Hollywood and all that came to personal computers. And so I developed this show, and it shows every week at 8:30 on Fridays, and it's called All Things Creative. And I used a lot of those old interviews, and I started producing new ones, going out into the community and documenting events and bringing, you know, the artists that were participating in those into the videos and sharing them with the community.
Can you tell me a little bit more about, like, maybe comments that people have made when they see the show, or how they maybe want to get involved in your show in some way?
Well, every once in a while I have somebody approach me that, you know, wants to get involved in the process, or that wants to have their event or their particular art or creative streak documented. And it's always good for me because, you know, I like to follow what I call the path of least resistance in life, you know. I've reached a time in my life where you know, I'm able to do what I like or what I can't avoid. And the things that I can't avoid are usually things that are something that involves the community. I do a lot of MC work, where I've done a lot of open mics over the years, which is great. I did one for 10 years at a little place in Pacific Grove. I saw kids. It was a coffee house, and so we got a demographic that was all the way from you know, little 7-year-olds all the way up to great grandmothers, and families would come, and I saw a lot of young people that got their first stage confidence at these open mics and that are now professional musicians, and it just it warms my heart every time I see one and they come up to me. And I usually wear a top hat at events, so I'm able to go incognito a lot of times. And when somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without your top hat," and I'm just delighted that somebody is aware of the process and everything. As far as the TV goes, throughout my radio, and which was with Kazoo Public Radio, I did a little commercial radio after that, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. But I've always liked public community access. I did some things for another community television station before AMP was here, and actually probably when Kazoo was when I was with Kazoo as well, and that was in Salinas. But I love the public being able to be a part of it and being a part, because so much of media these days, I'm maybe getting off the subject, but so much of media these days is corporate. In fact, all of it is corporate controlled, essentially. And public access and public radio and these are the last conduits for free speech and unbridled creativity.
So on your shows, you've had younger people, older people, people who maybe aren't even having a professional career, but they have something to share and something to say. And we just really, really appreciate your ability to bring people in, bring people together, facilitate that creative process and tell those stories, and to also give those opportunities to everybody in our community. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here today, and thank you for what you're up to in the community.
It's a two-way street.
Thank you.
And I appreciate being here, and I appreciate being able to bring people into the media, and I think it's important that everybody know that art is the answer. And
as we like to say,
they use art therapy to bring people back to their creative side, and that's what we're all about, is creation. You're born, you live, you die. The things that happen in your life come and go, and soon, often sooner than you'd like, it's over.
But meanwhile,
if you can hear my voice, it's not over yet.
And meanwhile, what is your sign-off these days?
My sign-off piece is remember, everything is what it is.
That's the one.
And the only difference anything makes is your attitude towards it.
Thanks again. Paige, Rama, it's good to see you. And thank you.
Hi, my name is Walter Rice. I'm a writer at the Monterey County Weekly, cover art, entertainment, and culture. And I'm here with special guest, photographer Kim Weston. Kim is part of the famed Weston clan of fine art photographers, which includes his grandfather Edward, father Cole, and uncle Brett. He's been a fine art black and white nude photographer for about 30 years, and he's here to talk to us about his work, including lectures, workshops, and exhibitions. Kim, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a lecture that you've done in the past called Growing Up Weston. That's correct. Can you tell us, what was it like growing up a Weston?
Growing up Weston was like cameras were everywhere. We had our own darkroom. I picked up the camera, and I was a very shy kid, and I'd love to sit in the darkroom with my dad. It was dark in there and very peaceful, and help him. And I'd go over to someone's house, and to me, if there wasn't a darkroom in the house, I felt strange. Where's your darkroom? So it was just something we did. We took photographic trips. Dad would load us, all us kids, in the car, and we'd take our cameras and go photograph. And it was just a way of life.
Can you describe how your photography has evolved over the years?
Yeah, it's there again. In the beginning, I would travel with my Uncle Brett or my dad or friends, and mainly use large format, 4x5, 8x10, and I would photograph the more typical things that our family were known for, you know, rocks and trees and big landscapes, abstracts. And I think that was just finding my way in the beginning. You know, it's like any time you learn a discipline. And so for many years I did this. And then one day I wasn't getting everything out of that process. And I was going to do a nude study, and we were going to do it outside, and it just so happened it rained that day. And we were going to do this on this beach. Of course, my grandfather is famous for his nudes on the beach down in Oceano. So it wasn't anything new, but so it started to rain. I had the model, and I had a studio at the time, and I thought, well, I'll just bring the beach to me. And I went down to the granite rock and got bags and bags of sand and filled them into my studio and shot. That was the first time I shot basically in my studio. That was over 30 some odd years ago. And what that did is it made it, everything in that scene was mine. You know, I didn't have to wait on Mother Nature or the weather or whatever to be creative. Everything that I put into the photograph, I touched in some way. That was very, very appealing to me. And that's what I've been doing.
You work exclusively with film, but can you talk about your relationship to digital photography?
Yes, you know, my wife and I, we would teach workshops and large format workshops in the beginning, you know, 4x5, 8x10, and there were people that were interested. But as time went by and as digital became more popular, we found out that the people attending our workshops, probably now 98% are digital. So how me, an old-fashioned film guy, was going to keep, you know, attracting students, you know, to our workshops. And I found that in my teaching, what I was going to do was teach more of a philosophy, not a technical, not a camera-oriented thing. A camera is just a recorder. It just records. You put it up, you push the button, I don't care if it's digital or film, it's going to record what's in front of it. To me, what makes teaching exciting is that it's my job to inspire the love for this medium. And it doesn't matter if it's digital or film. That can be accomplished with both types of equipment. So we found that teaching our workshops, digital people were totally excited about them. And that, as I say, 95% or 98% are digital. It's a great tool. You can use it where with film, especially a teaching apparatus, because it gives you an instant feedback. And so you can photograph one day, and then the next morning you can put it up on the computer screen the student's work. So this gives you a great opportunity to be able to critique and teach. So I really use it as a teaching tool, even though I don't use it for my work. No.
Can you describe the relationship between black and white photography and color photography for yourself and what it's meant in your family?
Yeah. Of course, towards the end of Edward's life, Kodak sent him color film. And actually, Edward was quite excited about it. But he was quite sick at that time, so he never got to really explore it. But he did go out and use the color film. So when he passed away, my dad at that time was a young photographer trying to find his way, which path he was going to go. And so he picked up this color film that Kodak had sent to his father. Mm-hmm. And I think he used it more as a separation so that he wasn't compared to his father. Dad had a sort of a problem that way with being compared to this great Edward Weston. So the color separated him. And I never did color I started in black and white. It was a tool that I used. Color to me was much harder to actually do because we see in color. Black and white instantly is different, right? When you look at a black and white photograph, that's not what we see. So it has a layer of the story already put on it. I find, very few good color photographers. You still have to have the same sensibility as a black and white photographer, but no, to me, color is much more difficult.
Kim, I want to thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Great.
I am here in the studio with Mr. Farhad Khudiev, and he is the music director and the conductor for Youth Music Monterey County. Farhad, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here. Now, please, for the viewers who may not know, tell us, what is Youth Music Monterey County?
Youth Music Monterey County is a wonderful organization that serves about 200 kids from all over Monterey County, of all walks of life, and different backgrounds, different cultures playing together. It's a home of junior youth and honors orchestra, South County Strings program, and the chamber music players program coached by Erica Horn.
Wonderful. Now tell us about what Youth Music Monterey County does. What do you folks do?
In rehearsals, in master classes, in teachings, what we do is we teach kids how music relates to life. And that makes huge difference when they can feel and understand the music, what it really means. It becomes their own. So they perform it in a different way, and therefore the audience feels that they're inspired, and the performances are really meaningful. They just become really meaningful when that kind of approach is there.
Could you explain then why this is really important for the community to have Youth Music Monterey County?
Because we produce educated, highly educated kids, because they learn about everything in life through music, through tones. Tones teach them. That's what inspires everybody. They learn about geography, history, cultures, different backgrounds. So they play German music, and they can feel that they're in Germany. We find a friend, most meaningful friend for the kids, which is music. Yes. You know, and this friend remains forever.
How do you go about this? I mean, how do you provide this education?
We constantly remind kids what the fundamental meaning of a piece is that they're working on, and why you have the tremolo Why do you have staccato here? Why is it, as I said before? And so once they understand that, they just perform in a completely different level. It becomes their own composition. So, and in chamber music rehearsal with Erica, they do the same thing in more of a private setting. And in orchestra rehearsal, I constantly work with them this way. Remind them where the sound comes from.
Tell us how much you're going to be giving of yourself and what else is going on May 4th, a very important date.
It's going to be our 25th anniversary concert. It will happen on May 4th at 2 o'clock in Salinas at the Steinbeck Institute, previously known as Sherwood Hall. It's a very special event, as I said before, because we will be performing Vivaldi by Handel, Beethoven, and by Mascagni, and Howard Hanson, a founding conductor of our organization from 1981, will be coming back, Stuart Robertson, and he'll be conducting the first piece from 1981 that was performed that year. He'll be conducting the honors orchestra, and orchestra in schools and the South County Strings kids will be joining us, and we'll be playing with the junior youth orchestra, so we'll have lots of kids playing together. This concert will be in collage style, so yeah, that means we will feature all the most wonderful parts of the organization. We'll have the chamber music players perform. They'll perform a quartet by Ravel, and I'll be performing myself as well. And I'll be performing with a friend of mine, Alexei Klushnik, who's a bassist and who is also he also works for the organization. And the theme of the concert is the world of joy and beauty.
They can go to the website and learn all about it and get the tickets. Okay. Farhad, thank you so much for being here with us. This has been a wonderful interview and some great information, and you've shown us why the arts are the answer once again. We are continuing our interview with Youth Music Monterey County. We are now joined by the Executive Director, who is Venetia Evans-Duvon. Venetia, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us, how does a young person join Youth Music Monterey County?
Yes. Well, they can visit our website at youthmusicmonterey.org and check out our audition requirements. This will give a young musician an idea of what scales they need to prepare, along with a piece of music to audition with for our music director. They can go to our website and fill out an online registration form, and we'll schedule them an audition appointment. That's going to happen on Saturday, May 11th, so if you're interested in joining, please do sign up now. And students can get started playing an instrument through their school music programs, with a private teacher, help from their school music teacher, or even a school after-school program like Orchestra in the Schools or Youth Orchestra Salinas. We do have lots of scholarship opportunities available, so please feel free to apply. And carpools can be arranged. If there's any questions at all, please give me a call. I'm here to help.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, I hear that April 22nd is also an important date for you. Tell us about what's going on then.
Yes, Monday, April 22nd, our chamber music players will be performing a benefit concert. And this will be a culmination of all the music they've been preparing and working on throughout the season, with master classes and through outreach concerts at retirement facilities and to our South County String students. It will be at 7 o'clock at Hidden Valley Music Seminars, and the benefit will, the proceeds will go to all the programs of Youth Music Monterey County, including this year's benefactor, Community Partnerships for Youth.
Oh, CPY, another great organization. Venetia, thank you so much for everything you do for the community, and thank you for visiting us here on The Arts of the Answer.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Bernice House. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Arts Council. Today, I would like to invite you to visit our webpage, www.arts4mc. What you will see next is our Aztec group from Salinas. They practice every Thursday in Salinas at El Dorado Park. They have been teaching so many generations of children in Salinas about the heritage and history behind each of the dance and what those dances represent. This year, on January 19, we honor our champions, and this group came and delight the audience and teach us about the heritage and their dances. Please enjoy.
We hope you enjoyed the program.
And on future episodes, we would love to tell your story. So drop us a line at info@theartsaretheanswer.org. Maybe next month, we'll be telling our audience how you found out
The arts are the answer. Thanks for watching.